In this video, I'm going to show you the 9 biggest takeaways from Tim Ferriss's best-selling book, Tools of Titans. Welcome to the Peak Performance channel, the place where you come to be inspired to create a more prosperous future. In this video, I'm going to show you the 9 best ideas from Tim Ferriss's new book, Tools of Titans. If you're not familiar with Tim Ferriss, he's an author, entrepreneur and public speaker who's known for his work in self-improvement. His latest book is a compilation of advice from some of the world's top performers across a variety of industries. So, if you're looking to improve your life in any way, these ideas are definitely worth checking out. Best idea number 1. Imitate the masters. One quote for this is, "Success leaves clues." Jim Rohn. If we could find the same blueprint that someone used to build a 5-story mansion, we could use it to build our own mansion. It would be the same, except that we would have to assemble the materials and put in the effort. There are clues that might help you in your life. If you try, you can get similar results. There are books that study the most successful people and try to find out how they got there and start to incorporate them in your everyday life. Best idea number 2, 1,000 true fans. This is Kevin Kelly's concept, which states that success is overcomplicated, but if you simplify it, all that really counts is that you make 1,000 people extremely happy. What this means is that it's not worth putting in a lot of time and effort if you won't make as many people happy as you could. A true fan is someone who will buy everything you make and will drive 200 miles to see you perform. They'll also purchase your book in hardback, paperback and audiobook forms. They'll also buy the best DVDs. If you have 1,000 people following you on every social media network, that's fantastic. But focus on making the experience so good that they do the marketing for you. Don't attempt to please everyone. Instead, devote all of your time and attention to a small number of exclusive people. The rest will follow. Best idea number 3. Tony Robbins. Tony Robbins says, the reason we're suffering, why we're pressing, why we're filling in the blank, is because we're focused on ourselves. That's a fantastic statement, because you can still fall back into your life even when you're too focused on yourself. Tony also states that if we're in a state where we're struggling, we should not try to solve our problems, because it's difficult to view things clearly and discover solutions when we're down. You can't solve a problem with the same thinking that created it. Best idea number 4, Derek Sivers. The man sold CD Baby, an online music store or distribution company. He remarked the quotable, "If information were the answer, we'd all be billionaires walking around with 6-pack abs," which simply indicates that knowing isn't enough. We have to take action. Don't be indecisive like the donkey. The donkey is standing between a bucket of hay and a bucket of water. He keeps looking left and right, not knowing which one to go for. He ends up dying of thirst and starvation right there in the middle because he didn't realize that if he went to the water and drank, he'd have plenty of time to go back to the hay and eat. You don't have to choose between A and B. You can start a job part-time and also pursue your passion. This can be a successful way to go because you will still have a steady income coming in, and you will also be doing what you love. Don't feel like you have to choose between these two things. There is another option. Try doing both. Best idea number 5. Wim Hoff, commonly known as the Iceman, is a Dutch extreme athlete who thinks you can do extraordinary things by acquiring mastery over your body, breath and mind through the use of specific breathing methods and tolerance to extreme temperatures. The point of the breath is to increase oxygen levels and blow out carbon dioxide, he says. It's been shown to help with depression, anxiety, mood, mental focus and pain management. Take a cold shower, you'll hear from successful people, which we always thought was ridiculous because we love our warm shower. This section doesn't discuss the psychological impacts of taking cold showers, but rather the advantages of using a hot-cold post-workout regime for recovery and weight loss. Best idea number 6. Tim's 8 best interview questions. Who is the first person who springs to mind when you hear the word successful, and why? What do you believe that others think is insane? What is the best book you've ever given as a gift? Which $100 or less purchase has had the biggest positive influence on your life in the previous 6 months? What are your morning routines and how do you spend the first 60 minutes of your day? What's the worst advice you've heard in your field? What advice would you give to your 20, 30 or 40-year-old self? What have you changed your mind about in the previous several years, and why? Feel free to pause the video and answer these questions. But before we continue, make sure you smash that like button and hit the subscribe and notification button if you haven't already done so. It means that YouTube sends you more of these kinds of videos and it helps our channel as well. Right, let's get back to the video. Best idea number 7, Rick Rubin. Rick Rubin is a very successful music producer. He's worked with many famous artists such as Jay-Z, Lady Gaga, Slayer and Black Sabbath. Rick Rubin said that he is a way to help artists get out of writer's block. He tells them to sit down and write one word, and then the words will come. The artist will notice that once they start writing, the words will continue to flow and they will eventually have a new hit single. If we feel overwhelmed, we can take a step back and simplify the task. We can break it down into the smallest pieces and then work on one part at a time. This makes it easier to follow and complete the task. Best idea number 8. Surprising habits of the ultra-successful. A surprisingly high number of people listened to a song on loop or used it as an anchor. They invested their own money and time into a speculative project before making any dime from it, and believed that failure wasn't permanent. Almost everyone was able to take an obvious weakness and turn it into a strength. Best idea number 9. No failures, only outcomes. Many people have stories about people who were not successful by today's standards, but they pushed through it and achieved massive success and developed a mindset that told them that failure is not permanent and that there are really no failures, there are only outcomes. One example is Colonel Sanders, the founder of Kentucky Fried Chicken. He tried to sell his fried chicken recipe to 1,000 different people before someone finally took him up on it. If you try to sell something 1,000 times and get rejected each time, don't give up. Many people have the perseverance to push through and make their dreams a reality. They know that there are no failures, only outcomes. And with this mindset, they achieved great success. We must also keep going and push past any blocks in our way to reach our goals. Thank you for being all ears throughout the entire video. If you'd like to learn more about the nature of this business, subscribe now and click on the notification bell to be updated with my latest uploads. To create is effort, to copy is genius. Albert Einstein. If you want to expand your income by engaging with some side hustles, feel free to contact me so we'll get things moving right away. Remember, if you want to change your life, let's make a change together. You need to make a change.